Today, we're going to talk about doing your muscle tension intervals on Zwift. Those are the big gear mashers that are like lifting weights on the bike. What's up, everyone? I'm Coach Frank. Some call me the Big Cat. And it's that time of year when we have athletes do muscle tension intervals as part of their fall foundation training to prep their legs before going into the weight room. The challenge is not everyone has access to steady 3 to 5% grade climbs like we do here in Boulder, which is how we've traditionally told athletes to do these high torque intervals. But Zwift solves that problem in two different ways. I'm going to walk you through both. And at the end, I'm going to share which one I recommend the most as a coach and explain why. Way number one is to export your muscle tension workout from the CoachCat app into Zwift. You're going to start it in the ERG mode, and then in the companion app, you're going to slide that trainer difficulty from ERG to Incline. And that locks in the resistance so you can adjust it to force yourself to only be able to pedal between 40 and 60 RPMs with as much force and torque as possible. These aren't really wattage or heart rate based intervals. They're all about force. And however, your power will fall. It's not really important, but within tempo or a sweet spot. If you're doing threshold, you're going too hard. The second way to do it is a more manual way in the Climb portal. And it's more road-like. It requires a little bit more experimentation. However, there are some benefits. So you open up Zwift, you head to the Climb portal. You do not export your workout into Zwift. You're going to choose your climb. And then when the interval starts, you're going to have to use your workout timer. You're going to be going uphill. And you're just going to leave it in a gear that, again, forces you to pedal between 40 and 60 RPMs with a lot of force and torque. You're going to have to use the timer on the HUD to know when your interval begins, when it ends. And you're going to use that turnaround button in Zwift to flip it and go back down after the end of your interval, just like you would in the real world. You're going to coast downhill, ride in zone 2, spin it out, whatever. It doesn't really matter. You just want to recover. And then when you get to the end of the duration of the recovery interval, you're going to hit that turnaround button again, and you're going to go back up for the next rep. You're going to stay seated, and you're going to use the grade of the climb to force you to pedal between 40 and 60 RPMs by applying a lot of force to keep climbing. And by the way, when you do these outside there, you're going to keep it in your big ring, low cog, so that you're forced to pedal high torque, high force in a big gear. Those are the big gear mashers. One note about torque, which is going to get to why I think which method is better. Torque is simply the force on the pedals. The formula equals power divided by cadence, and we measure torques in Newton meters. Power is what your bike computer or Zwift shows you in the watts, and it comes from a mix of torque and cadence. If you push harder on the pedals, that's applying more torque, or if you spin them faster, a higher cadence, you'll make more watts. But muscle tension intervals, we want to focus on just the torque, teaching you to apply more force on 360 degrees of the pedal stroke. It builds strength, and it's later when you combine it with that higher cadence, you're going to unlock more power. Most of the time, you're never going to see torque on your screen. We just see it in the power and the watts. And that's because torque is happening behind the scene. Every power meter calculates torque and cadence to get you your power number. Very few devices actually record it. A handful like SRM or Garmin or the Favreau pedals, they do let you dig into the torque and the pedal smoothness, but only software like Golden Cheetah or SRM's own analysis can actually plot it out for you to see. But here's the takeaway. Whether you see it or not, you can feel it and you can still do it. And torque is always baked in to these intervals. And who knows, maybe in the future, Coach Cat may give you more torque insights directly so you can connect the strength, your ability from the muscle tension intervals to the numbers that you see on the screen. The reason why I'm explaining what torque is from a physics standpoint is way number one is good with the export and structured. It's repeatable. It's very good if you're new to muscle tension intervals, and I do recommend it for ease of use. Way number two simulates the road, and it makes you think more about pressing harder on the pedals, but it does require familiarity of Zwift's climbing portal. And of course, doing these outside with gravity, you can get a lot more torque into the pedals, pedaling up a steady grade 3 to 5% uphill. Very few places in the world have that. If you're lucky to be able to do your muscle tension intervals in Boulder or other mountainous territory, that's great. But you do need approximately 6 to 10 minutes or more of that steady grade, which is why places to execute your muscle tension intervals are few and far between. But since you're doing your muscle tension intervals on Zwift and you're going to be doing them twice a week in the fall foundation plan, go ahead and try both. You can even try them outside, see which one you feel like you're getting the most torque out of your pedals. You should feel it in your quads and your hamstrings, even your glutes, and see which one works best for you. If you found this video helpful, please give us a like and subscribe for more training tips. We are recording 1 to 2 per week. Leave me a comment below about your muscle tension intervals, experiences, questions about them, and I'll give you my best coaching advice to every single one. As a reminder, at FasCat, we offer 2 ways to help you ride faster. Number 1 is ultra-personalized personal coaching by hiring one of our expert FasCat coaches. And number 2 is AI-powered coaching in the CoachCat app using our training plans as the starting point. Either way, both begin with a complimentary free coaching consultation, and from there, you'll get a 30-day free trial of the CoachCat app. Until the next training tip, you know what to do. Work hard, ride fast, have fun, and as always, FTF.